Welcome back, everybody. My name is Dragagon and this is Gregtech New Horizons. So in today's video, what I'd like to accomplish is I would like to try and knock out the polarizer, the lathe, and then I'd like to get into the assembly machine, which is locked behind, you're going to hate this, number 4, as well as the crud. What's the other one I want to make today? Shoot, there's one other one I want to make. Maybe it is the centrifuge. Anyway, I already have set up the lathe and the basic polarizer. The basic polarizer, really nice and easy. The only thing I could be wasting would be these iron rods, simply because I didn't make the lathe first to make the iron rods. But in any case, there's my lathe and there's my basic polarizer. I went ahead and set up my wall of what do you want to call it? My wall of wires, along with my steam engine. It was just raining a bit ago in game, and so fortunately there is enough separation between my electric machines and the stairwell that the rain doesn't cause them to explode. That was good to know. I'm just going to slap my lathe there and the polarizer there, and that way I can go back and forth between all those machines. Unfortunately, I forgot my wire cutters. Where are you, wire cutters? There you are. I've started making tools out of steel since I do have a fair bit of steel and I am cooking up more all the time. Yeah, let's get those connected up. There we go. My lathe and my polarizer. With that, the lathe cheapens those rods. Fantastic. That'll especially be handy with the steel that's required in order to make the vacuum tubes, which are really annoying. But yeah, as I say, I'm going to focus on making the robot arm, because the robot arm should be what we need in order to, and I may make a couple of steam turbines before I make the assembling machine. But if we take a look at the basic assembling machine, it takes 2 of those robot arms, and so that way, that's how you know that you're going to need to finish the robot arm quest before you'll unlock it. And these are a pain because you need 3 motors, 1 for the piston, plus a microprocessor, or sorry, an electronic circuit, as well as the various other materials that you use to make like the electric piston and whatnot. So it is good. Because this right here will now be 1 ingot of steel instead of 2. Same thing with the steel small gear, that'll be 2 ingots instead of 3. Yeah, in general, just working on the next bit. One other thing I did, if I go into the nether, you'll see I marked out a ton of points, and where I came into the nether, there was a little bit of the nether quartz, as well as, oddly enough, some quartzite. I didn't know that those came with quartzite, so I used my, where did I put it? I used my prospecting tool with quartzite ore, and I ran through a number of different spots trying to find, and ultimately finding, a thing of quartzite with some barite and the Certus quartz ore. Now that I can take and I can smelt some of that up in here. So let's see here, let's just do 8 of them. And I'll grab myself a piece of my coal. Which of course wants to go into these backpacks since I have them. There we go. And get those cooking up. And that should complete the quest over here that wants me to find some Certus quartz, which is what I need for the emitter and sensor, which I believe are, you're going to hate this, numbers 5 and 6. But that will open up the miner and the scanner. And so the miner being the big one that I want to get to so that I can start setting up and just mining out a ton of ores without needing to be immediately nearby as soon as I get some batteries, or if I build one of these guys, the combustion generator, and then going on and completing the Hello Baron, how is your black gold, and making those basic pumps and starting to pump my giant tower of oil that I have right back there somewhere. So, looking forward to that. I will see you in a bit. And there we go. 2 robotic arms. And there's our quest for our assembler. I'm going to go ahead and get, looks like I'll get 2 more of those. That's good, because the assembler needs 2 of them. Now I just need to build 2 conveyor modules, a machine case, and the 10 cables, and the assembler is done. So let's knock that out real quick here. For that, I need 2 motors. Yeah, that'll also include 4 of these. Oops, not 2 motors. 4 motors. And the reason for 4 motors is, if we take a look at it, it's 2 motors per conveyor belt. Let's see here. So then I'll need 2 more of those, 10 cables, and then basically 12. That should be enough. 2 more for 10. Those guys going up there. Another 2 10. Six. And it looks like I'm going to need to make some more rubber. Five more rubber should be more than enough. Except when I run out of power, because I'm running this. Chemical reactor uses a lot of power. Let's see, is it easy to find the rubber? There's 700 of them in there. It probably won't be that easy to find the rubber. There we go. That should give me enough freed up power to finish running these. I guess my lathe is still using a bit of power too. There we go. And then I need 4 of those guys polarized. All right, 8 and 4 and 4. There's 2. So 4 motors, 2 cables. That oil complete. We're gonna hit this number 1. Also opens up the chemical bath, which I don't need right now. That is though the chemical reactor. So now that I've got that guy done, I can go get my wrench. Pick up the chemical reactor, get credit for that quest, slap it back down. Forget that I don't have my wire cutters. At least set the output. And I'm going to need that in a minute anyway. Get that reconnected. Excellent. So, we have our 2 conveyors, those 2 guys, those 2 guys, and then what else did that thing need? 2 tin cables. So I'm going to need one more thing of tin cables because I need the 2 in order to make the box itself. So there's those 2 for that. Alright, let's real quick make the box. Wrap that around with that. Guess I need to really quick bend out those plates. 1 and 2. There we go. 2 plates, 2 cables, a piece of steel. There's the LV machine case. 2 of those. 2 of those, 2 of those, and 2 of those, and there is our basic assembly machine. Alright, and so now to figure out where this guy goes, I think I'm going to put him here, and then since I already have the cabling, I can connect him up. Alright, basic assembling machine, done. That would be nice. I can use the basic assembling machine. There's a couple of quests that I was waiting to do with that. The one being the crop breeding in order to make 64 crop sticks. You can either make these long wooden sticks by using the saw and the file to make 2 of them each. And then you can use each one of those in the assembler with a configuration of 2, and you can get 2 crop sticks out instead of having to go through 4 of them to make 1 single crop stick. So I like to do that for the crop sticks. Let's see, was there anything else I was waiting on the assembler for? The assembler I really like simply because some of the items that I currently make can be made in the assembler for a little bit cheaper. Next up I'll be focusing on, I think, those 2 steam turbines. I did go ahead and make the high pressure coal boiler because I was just burning through my steam. Now that I've got those set up, I should be able to go a little bit longer, especially with 3 turbines here. And then I can focus on making the centrifuge. The biggest issue with the centrifuge is just the fact that it takes 4 electronic circuits by itself. And so I'll get started on that. See you in a bit. And there are my 4 circuits. So next I can work on 2 electric motors, 2 tin cables. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 tin cables. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Those 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those. 2 wrought iron that I've got right there. 2 plates. Nine more plates. 2 of those guys get polarized. 8 of those. I guess I do need 2 more. There we go. You're done. Those. There we go. That one. So there's 2 motors. There we go. All of the plates. Wrench. Grab that. There's those. Motor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 tin cables. Oh, I have those reversed, huh? There we go. Basic centrifuge. I'm going to take down these leather I've been working on. 3 more to put up there. The leather, those 3 are what are be left. 12 leather. As you can see here, I've got adventure typed in there, and that's because I'm looking at making the adventurer's fedora, the adventurer's suit, the adventurer's pants, and the piston boots. The piston boots being nice because they've got auto step up, and they also let you jump 3 blocks high instead of your normal 1. So that is definitely a plus there. I've been working on keeping my steam pressure up because I chew through it, and I need a ton more copper. So I've been grinding up over 2.5 stacks of tetrahedrite, smelting it up in my furnace, blast furnace, so that I triple the ores, and it also gives me a little bit of antimony, which you can see I've got almost 2 full stacks of it, and I've got more nuggets sitting in the box out there that I need to get squared away. So there is the centrifuge. We can have him output on that side, and of course I forgot my wire cutters so that I can connect it and get power to it. Now the centrifuge is nice because now instead of using the extractor, I can use the centrifuge to centrifuge glue the resin into the raw rubber, and it produces a little bit of glue, and I can have that auto output into my assembler, where the assembler can then start making some of the other components that require glue a little bit more easily. One of which I can think of are the boards that you use for circuits. So let's see. Let's go into here. That guy, this one. We should be able to... No, I guess he doesn't like it. Okay, well, I might have to be making those the old-fashioned way a bit longer. But anyway, it does, the glue helps out in the assembler for making certain components, and it basically cleans up everything that I need in terms of new machines. The spots that are left, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots left, and those 6 spots will go with 1 for a chest. Will go for the original 6 machines that are back there. We'll make the LV version of these machines plus the furnace, and that will help us out with getting basically the starter base complete. From there I can start taking a look at making the portal to the Twilight Forest, and then start looking at batteries, and then getting deeper into the LV age, coming down here, completing a bunch of stuff there, and yeah, just all in all, moving towards the MV age up here with the cobalt brass and the aluminum. And then eventually we'll unlock Steve's carts here in the multi-block farm. I will be working slowly towards the 10 coke ovens, because I would like to have this entire area filled up with coke ovens, and for these 2 boilers to be running off of a Steve's cart farm instead of the way they are now, and powering this an enlarged steam center running those 3 different turbines. And that will take quite a bit of power, but at least we'll have that set up by then. So yeah, look forward to seeing you all in the next video as we prepare for the rest of the machines up here, hopefully making our way to the Twilight Forest in the near future.